wherever you may be listening from. This is your session of plug-in from MBN, and I'm your host for today, Ambassador Joyce Murigi. I'm broadcasting all the way from Nairobi, Kenya. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be listening from or tuning, from, or even watching us from. You are welcome, welcome, welcome. I would like to say that, or to bring to your attention that we are having a few changes in MBN, and the plugins will no longer be 10 minutes. There'll be a little more to allow people who are coming in late to catch up with whatever we'll be teaching, and also to be, impactful or to be effective. So we have decided to bring in a few changes, and I am sure that we are going to grow together. So today I'm continuing with the topic that I laid foundation for the last time that I was live. That was Monday last week, and it was when the Pharisees went to Jesus Christ to trap him. They had been sent by the chief priests because they wanted to arrest him for the teachings that he was advancing, the teachings of the kingdom. Thank you, Lady V. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, for always cheering us on. And I say that as we as MBN are having a few changes in the programs lineup, especially for the plugins. So we have decided that we are going to be longer than 10 minutes so that we can be effective, and so that we can also bring to you, our audience, comprehensive teachings without having to split them so many times. So today, as I have said, I am continuing with the topic of what I laid a foundation on last Monday, but that took a different turn because we got to see that the people who gave a proper account of Jesus Christ were Pharisees. As much as they went there to trap him, they also did something that we learned from, that they gave an account of Jesus Christ. But today, I just want to dwell on the fact that they went to trap him. And I want to dwell on the message in that passage, what Jesus Christ told them after they asked him a question. And we are going to be guided by the scriptures, our constitution, and I'm going to read from Mark chapter 12, verse 13 to 17, and I'll read very quickly. So later they sent some of the Pharisees and Herodians to Jesus to catch him in his words. They came to him and said, "Teacher, we know that you are a man of integrity. You aren't swayed by others because you pay no attention to what they are or to who they are, but you teach the way of God in accordance with the truth. Is it right to pay the imperial tax to Caesar or not? Should we pay or should we not?" But Jesus knew their hypocrisy and said to them, "Why are you trying to trap me? Bring me a denarius and let me look at it." They brought the coin, and he asked them, "Whose image is this and whose inscription?" And they said, "Caesar's." Then Jesus said to them, "Give back to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to God what is God's." And they were amazed at him. So I just want us to look at the answer that Jesus Christ gave the Pharisees. The Pharisees were opponents, and they are a group that was separated from the teachings of Christ. They were opposed to the teachings of Jesus Christ, because Jesus Christ was teaching about the kingdom. You have actually heard that they knew that Jesus Christ was teaching about the truth in regard to the kingdom of God. And they come to him and ask him a question: is it right to pay taxes to Caesar? And the answer that Jesus Christ gives them, amazes them. it baffles them. They did not expect that because they didn't have any ground of, of arresting him. And of course, they had to go back to the chief priest. And of course, they didn't have any reason to arrest Jesus Christ. He outsmarted them. So why were the Pharisees opposed to Jesus Christ? It is because Jesus Christ taught about the kingdom of God. He taught with parables, and he demystified what the chief priests or the Pharisees or even the Sadducees preached and believed. He simplified about God. He taught with very many examples to show his followers and even the ones that were opposed to him how the kingdom of God was like and how they were supposed to live. The kingdom of God is based on love, truth, hope, and faith. His teachings, Jesus Christ's teachings, were seen as being opposite of what all other teachers were teaching. And so he became very unpopular. And that is why the chief priest sent the Pharisees to trap him. So, and Jesus Christ knew that they were hypocrites and they were laying a trap for him, but he outsmarted them with his answer. He asked them, whose image is on the coin? And of course, they said, Caesar's. And then Jesus Christ told them, give unto Caesar what is his, and unto God what is God's. So the conclusion or the last words of this message or this answer of Jesus Christ to the Pharisees is actually what amazed them. What, in fact, it is what is going to form our discussion for today. Because what I understand is that it was not even more important, the question about the Caesar and the answer that Jesus Christ gave about Caesar. But it was more important, and he wanted this to sink into the Pharisees, that give unto God what is God's. And so it's like he was telling them, stop discussing about tax, for this is not about the kingdom of God. You should be more serious and be in discussions that are to do with the kingdom of God. Because the kingdom of God is not about capitalism. It's not about the taxes that you're talking about or asking about. It's not about the governments of this world. It is not about the authorities of this world. It's not about what you are even asking me about. The kingdom of God is about a relationship between man and God. Why? Because man was created in the image and likeness of God. So likewise, as the image of the denarius or the coin was the Caesar's, so the image that man has is the image of God, because we have been created in his image and in his likeness. So Jesus Christ told the Pharisees, give to God what is his. So give back to God. Give man back to God, because man belongs to God. Stop separating him, with these doctrines, the doctrines of this world, the religious doctrines, the religious laws. Stop separating man from God, because the kingdom of God is about that relationship between man and God. But how do we get back to God? Or rather, how are we given back to God? God is our Father. So we must acknowledge that he is our Father and that he sent Jesus Christ, his only begotten Son, to die for us so that we can be reconciled back to him. Because all he needs is us to have a relationship with him, that we should not be separated from him by the things of this world that do not make sense. The earthly kingdom should not come in between us and our relationship with God. Our beliefs, the wrong beliefs, the doctrines, the traditional laws, that they should not come to separate us from that love of God, or being or having a relationship with God, because we have been created in his image and his likeness. And because we must represent him who is love, truth, hope in this, and we represent him in this earthly kingdom. And we should also not be pushed away or push people away from God, like I said, by preaching doctrines. Because I think the churches today, we have this thing of wanting to teach about the doctrines and not teaching about the kingdom of God. So Jesus Christ comes here and admonishes the Pharisees: give back to God what is his, by not bringing the doctrines, bringing your own doctrines, your religious doctrines, like wanting people to observe traditional laws. Those are not what are needed in the kingdom of God, but rather you should bring man back to God, or closer to him, to be able to live the life that God intended for all of us, or for all men, by teaching the correct principles of the kingdom of God, which sets people free, and which, like I have said, is based on love. And since we are created in God's image and his likeness, then we should also seek for higher things. We should seek for higher power that is greater than the power of than the power of a coin, because we are not of this world. And even discussions around capitalism, or discussions about money, discussions about things of this world, do not take us closer to the kingdom of God or to God, but we should seek the things that are higher, the things that speak about the kingdom of God. We should teach about the kingdom of God and not dwell so much on the worldly systems or the worldly structures and the worldly, means, like the coins. And our bodies are also the temples of God. So let us seek to live lives that are pleasing before God, lives that are pure, so that he can use us, so that he can, use us to bring back man, or the lost, back to him. And then it's only then that if we seek to live that lives that are pleasing to him, to have these temples as pure, it is only then he will equip us to be his co-workers in the kingdom of God, to be able to teach the kingdom of God. He is going to equip us with wisdom. He is going to equip us with love, and he is going to remove from us the hypocrisy and ignorance of the Pharisees, so that we can be able to represent him, the true God that he is, and to teach the truth about the kingdom of God, and to represent him here on earth. And until next time, when we'll have another chance of discussing and teaching about the kingdom of God, I hope you have been blessed, because I have been blessed by your presence, by your watching, by your listening, and by your tuning in. And here at MBN, we have very many things lined up for you. We have a special discussion tomorrow, a panel discussion, and we are also continuing with our special teachings on the kingdom of God. So God bless you. I love you with the love of Christ. Let us see each other at the top, where eagles fly, because we are not of this world. We should seek things that are higher, things that are above. And it's only when we know and we learn to fly as eagles that we will go above and beyond the things of this world. God's blessings. Bye-bye for now. See you at the top.